If you're running a service business and you are stuck around 10K a month, then listen carefully because this video has been designed for you. At this stage, I'm guessing you're not a beginner. You know how to sell, you have signed some clients, you have delivered some results, and you have made some money. But your revenue keeps circulating the same range. 1 month, maybe you hit about 13K a month, the next month about 9K, and maybe if you really push hard all night, you can hit 15K a month. But because it's circulating all the time, you're not capable of actually scaling. And that's frustrating because you are really working hard. You are capable, you're not confused, and you're not lazy. So why does it really feel there's a ceiling that you can actually break past? Here's the part most people actually don't tell you. 10K is the last level where hustle actually works. At 10K, effort can carry you forward, right? After 10K, the structure matters more than the actual effort because you can scale the actual energy. And most founders never rebuild the actual structure. They just keep working longer hours, they post more, they add another offer, they push harder. But pushing harder on a weak structure doesn't scale the actual structure itself. It just exhausts it and eventually you will burn out. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what changes at 10K and why that ceiling exists and what you must build differently if you want to move to 30K to 50K and even beyond without burning out. So stay with me till the end because once you see the real reason, you won't look at your business the same way again and you will be really capable of taking your business to that next level, wherever it might be. It may be 20K for you. Maybe you want to hit the 30K. Maybe you want to hit 50K a month. In this video, I'm going to actually show you how you can do and what is currently not working inside of your business that you actually need to fix. So by end of this video, you will know exactly what you need to do in order for you to actually scale your business. So watch this video till the end because by end of this actual video, you will understand number one, why 10K is the natural effort ceiling. Number two, the operational difference between 10K and a 50K business. And three, the four structural constraints that trap founders at 10K a month. Number four, why working more hours makes scaling really harder. Number five, what systems actually unlock growth. And number six, how to think like an operator instead of actually freelancer. So by end of this actual video, you will know exactly what you need to do, what you need to implement inside of your business in order for you to scale past the 10K a month. And so you're not anymore stuck at actual 10K. Everything that you're about to actually learn comes from my personal experience of scaling businesses, growing businesses, losing businesses, winning businesses, and investing over hundreds of thousands of dollars in actual education and actually learning from trials and errors. So you don't actually have to go through what I went through. I want to actually give you the fastest way of how you can actually scale past 10K a month. So stick till the end, watch this video, and then you exactly will know what needs to happen in order for you to scale past 10K. With that being said, let's get into the actual video. So why 10K is so common? Like 10K a month is doable if you are good at actual sales, you know how to close, you have good frameworks, you understand the ins and outs of the actual sales process. You work really hard, you personally deliver, you rely on actual referrals or manual actual outreaches. So example, let's say you charge 2K per your offer and you close 5 clients, that's 10K. So you can do that yourself, you can sell them, you can deliver, you can manage communication, okay? Really easy. You can probably use some of the channels, let's say Slack, WhatsApp, easy communication. You can also deliver because it's really only 5 clients. No deep systems also required because everything can be managed based on your actual energy. It's not too much, okay? That's why so many service businesses sit here because it's easier and it requires different type of thinking when you're trying to exit that, okay? If manageable without this is manageable without structure. But here's the real issue. The model that works at 5 clients and works at 10K a month breaks at 15 clients. And I see this all the time again and again with a lot of coaches, consultants, agency owners, and also a lot of service businesses that the way they plan to get from 10K to 50K is doing exactly what they did to get to 10K. And that's not going to work here. You need to completely change entire dynamic if you're trying to get above the 10K a month, because the dynamic that got you to the 10K will not necessarily get you to 50K, and whatever got you to 50K is not going to get you to 100K. So you need to change the way you're actually thinking. You need to change the way you actually change your business around how you operate, how you get your clients in, how you close them. You need to also about your delivery, your decision making, and how you actually build culture. Whatever got you to 10K will 100% not get you to 50K and 100K because those levels require a completely different type of thinking and a different type of operator. At 10K a month, you can be a freelancer and you can mostly act as a freelancer. Above 10K, you really need to become an actual operator inside of your business when you are actually acting based on actual systems, and your decision making, and this is the most important thing, your decision making also matches the high operator. Because most of you currently at 10K a month are making emotional decisions because there's not a lot happening inside of the business. Mostly you do everything yourself. But if you want to pass the 10K a month, also decision making has to be actual data driven. Because if you make decisions based on data and patterns from the actual past of how you scale your business, I can promise you, you will never be at 10K a month. You will be probably sitting at 50K. Okay. So what actually happens at 10K? At 10K, most businesses look like this. So demand, you get leads when you push, you post more, you get inquiries, you DM more, you book calls, you stop, pipeline slows down. Okay. Sales. What happens at your sales? Number one, you sell based on actual your instinct, right? No clear qualification, no close rate tracking. Every call feels slightly different. Delivery, you deeply involved, right? You are deeply involved. You probably are the main guy that fulfills the actual clients. Number two, you customize, you fix issues yourself, and you answer most client messages yourself as well, okay? Then let's talk about metrics. You mostly just be responsible checking Stripe, okay? Maybe if you take payments on a different payment method, you'll be checking Stripe to understand like what's happening in Stripe, not the actual pipeline. You will not be analyzing your pipeline. You will not be analyzing how you made decisions, what DMs are most likely to convert. You're not going really into detail. You're morely just focusing on actually getting clients, closing clients, and focusing how much money is in the business. That's about it. Okay. That's 10K a month. Okay. So that's not also wrong, but that type of thinking, that type of operating inside of the business is really fragile. Okay. So the 4 real reasons you are currently stuck. Okay. So listen carefully. And if I was you, I would pause the video, maybe write it down on your piece of paper. So when you wake up every single morning, you can actually look and get to the actual implementation. Okay. So number one, demand is actual manual. At 10K, most founders are manually generating attention. Real example, you take a week off posting, leads suddenly start to drop. Now you are back to content mode again. That's not a system, that's an effort. And the same works with actual DMs. You maybe be DMing, but the moment you stop DMing, you have no lead flow, no lead engine coming inside of your actual business. So that's all, again, is just dependent on the actual effort again, okay? So scaling requires one primary acquisition channel that runs regardless of your actual mood. Either you are involved or you're not involved, it runs, okay? For example, structured outbound with weekly actual targets, paid ads with tracked CPL, cost per lead, content with actually defined conversion path. If demand depends on your daily energy, revenue will too depend on your actual daily energy. And this is why a lot of service businesses are stopping at 10K a month, because in order for them to pass the 10K, it requires almost double the actual energy, okay? So number two, you are at the capacity limit. You can personally manage 5 to 7 clients well every single month, but beyond that, response time slip, delivery quality actually fluctuates, and you feel stretched, okay? You subconsciously, you stop pushing actual sales. I have seen this many times happening with a lot of coaches, consultants, and agency owners. They maybe can take 4 to 5 clients a month, but eventually once they are like kind of 3 to 4 months in and they have too many clients already, like let's say consistently being taken on 5 clients, they start to struggle. And then what ends up happening, because they are now needing the most focus needs to go to the fulfillment, it takes all the focus away from actually demand and driving demand and getting clients and leads in. Okay. And now you're catching your own actual tail. So founders said, I want more clients, but when asked, can you actually handle double? They really hesitate. And when I say, can you handle double, doesn't mean just this month. Can you handle double of clients every single month from now on? And most of you probably will think no, but some of you also will say yes. But the reason you are saying yes, because you are currently desperate to actually scale and you are desperate to actually get, and so you probably say, yeah, I can handle, no problem. But eventually, right? Eventually, when you actually get to those more clients, double the clients for, let's say, 5 consecutive months, you will then start to see the actual cracks inside of your business, okay? Scaling requires capacity before the actual demand. Number one, documented onboarding, right? So not just any type of onboarding, but actually the documented onboarding. So you have standardized onboarding. Okay, it's not just like a free flow onboarding with any client and you onboard them how you actually want. Number two, clear workflows, right? Define client communication rules. Otherwise, growth feels really dangerous. So Let's move into number 3. Your offer is not structured as well. At 10K, flexibility feels like a service. You customize, you adjust pricing, you change the scope. And most of the times, I also have here a lot of agency owners, also coach consultants, discount their actual prices just to get more clients in. At higher volume, that becomes really a chaos. Example, if every client has a different deliverables, you cannot delegate cleanly, okay? So you cannot also train your team of how to actually need to be delivered because every single client is completely different. And so what you are doing is you are actually scaling no chaos. Because eventually you will get so many clients that need to have so customized actual solutions that eventually you will start to break and you will start to lose the track of what is breaking, what's not breaking, why that client's breaking, what. There's so much for you, okay? So structured offers create leverage. Number 1, define actual outcome, define scope, define timeline, and define actual price. Clarity reduces the actual friction. Let's move to number 4. You don't operate on data. Most 10K businesses cannot answer what's your close rate, what's your revenue per lead, what's the average pipeline value, what's the client lifetime value. Most of you currently at 10K sitting would not know the answers of these questions. And the reason you don't know is because you currently are operating from state of actually motion. Operating from state of motion doesn't necessarily mean that you will be capable of making the best actual decisions for your business. Acting from place of actual data uncertainty is what actually grows and scales your business, okay? So without these numbers, decision becomes really emotional. Good month, you start to be really confident, you have some money coming in, and then slow month happens and you suddenly start to panic, okay? So operators remove emotion with actual visibility. And the visibility comes when you have actually data in front of you that you can actually act upon, okay? Simple dashboards, weekly reviews, and leading indicators tracked. That changes everything of how you make decisions around your actual business, okay? So let's answer the biggest question, why working harder backfires? When growth slows, most founders post more, add new offers, change niches, try new tactics. That increases complexity, and complexity reduces actual clarity inside of your business. Clarity is what actually scales your business because you know exactly what's working, what's not working, and why it's actually working. Most of the times when I have these calls, one-on-ones with actual coaches, consultants, and agency owners, I would ask them one simple question. I said, hey, how do you know what's actually currently working that you are bringing in clients? They say, I don't know what's working. It's my content. But when I say what exact content is currently working, they wouldn't know. If I would talk about like, hey, what specific messages would you say convert more than other messages? They wouldn't know because they don't have clear data that they're actually looking for. Everything is based on actual emotion. Okay. So clarity is what actually is needed in order for you to actually scale. At 10K, you don't need more ideas. You need actual more structure. Structure is going to help you to design your business in such a way where you can actually be capable of standardizing the actual delivery, the decision making, the conversion, and the actual demand. And once you have everything standardized, it becomes really easy for you to get to actually 50K, okay? So 10K operators mostly are busy, reactive, involved in everything, and revenue tied to actual effort, okay? At 50K operator is really calm, he's focused, demand system installed, delivery structured, metrics reviewed weekly, okay? The difference is not the talent, it's the actual architecture of how you have built your business from the actual ground up, okay? That's what matters. So next question is, what actually moves you past 10K? Okay, this is the most important part of this actual video. So now you will know exactly how to move past the 10K. So step 1, choose one demand engine, not 3, 1. Example, it's either 50 messages per day, track replies, track booked calls, track close rate. If you're running ads, then it's different. Like for paid ads, it would be defined CPL, cost per lead target, right? Defined conversion rate and weekly optimization. Consistency beats variety, okay? Like you need to be consistent with this, like these numbers have to happen from week in, week out. If you're not consistent, you will have a lot of inconsistencies in the business that will again open cracks inside of your business, and that will be the big reason why you can't scale past 10K, okay? So step 2, standardize delivery, document, right? Onboarding steps like weekly deliverables, reporting process, escalation rules. All of this has to be standardized. And I'm going to walk you through currently where you can actually get started. If someone cannot follow your process, you don't have a process. Like you need to think about it. If you currently would hire somebody to come inside of your business, can also they fulfill the client? And if the answer is no, because they're not capable of what I'm doing, then that means currently your onboarding and everything else is kind of free flow. In order for somebody to come inside of your business, look at your business, and you give them the right training, the right tools, and the right system operational protocols, then they can actually execute. If you currently don't have that in a business, it's not that you are the best standing man, it's that your business is not built for you to be actually replaced. The best opportunity for any business owner is to be actually replaced in their own business. Because once you are replaced inside of your business, you can move away from your business and your business will still keep growing, right? So let's move into step 3. install weekly metrics reviews, okay? Every week you review leads generated, calls booked, close rate, revenue collected, and client actual churn. This turns guesswork into actual control. And the biggest thing that you currently want inside of your business is the actual control, okay? And so all of these 3 steps is what's going to turn the guesswork into actual control. Okay. So we have step 1, choose one demand engine. Step 2, standardize delivery. And then step 3, install weekly metric reviews. Once you have this, you are based your business on actual data execution. Okay. So the real mindset shift. At 10K, you are a high performing freelancer. To go beyond, you must become an actual operator, right? Freelancers will ask, what should I try? Okay. Operators ask, what is the constraint? That's the difference. Like, instead of you waking up and saying, hey, what should I do today? You already wake up and you go, this is exactly what I need to do because this is what the actual data is telling me to do, okay? So let's then keep moving. The real mindset shift. At 10K, you are a high-performing freelancer, okay? Like I already mentioned. So to go beyond, you must become an operator, okay? So again, I'm going to mention this again. So freelancers would usually ask, what should I try? An operator will always ask, what is the constraint, or what is the actual data telling me? Most of the times, I speak to a lot of coaches, consultants, and agency owners, and I say, like, how do you know what to do every single day? It was like, well, I just look what's not working and I try to fix it. And I'm like, how do you know what's not actually working? And so most of the times they'll be like, I don't know, I'm not getting the result that I want. And what is the result that you actually want? I want to get more leads in. So what you are doing, I'm currently building my website. Right. So some of these actions that most of you are doing are not based on data. They're not based on why you're not getting actual leads. In order for you to get leads, you need to be placing yourself in lead generating opportunities. And then based on those opportunities, you can say how well the opportunity is really designed for your business and how well you are capturing that opportunity. Most of you are just actually guessing or trying to do things that will not be relevant to actually generating more leads inside of your business, okay? So freelancers usually would work harder. The operator designs actual systems better. So take this home. So most service businesses don't fail at 10K. They stay comfortable, but comfort creates ceilings. If you want 30, 50, even 100K a month, you must remove effort as the actual growth driver. Replace it with actual systems and designs. That's how you break the 10K ceiling. Not with more hustle, but with more better actual structures. If you really enjoyed this video, smash a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss actual content like this, because over my 13 years of actually being in the game, I will give you everything that I have learned, so you don't have to waste thousands of dollars on actual courses. You get all of my information here for free on actual YouTube. So with that being said, if you currently are in a business and you really need help to diagnose your actual systems, what I would suggest you to do is book a free diagnostic call. That diagnostic call is not a sales call. It's a free diagnostic call on which we will jump on and analyze your entire systems. We will tell you exactly what's broken, what needs to be installed in order for you to actually scale. And for some reason, most of you sometimes even ask, can we work together? 80% of the time, we say no. But if the numbers match, if your business looks good, if it looks healthy, we can help you. We potentially look at the opportunity. For now, smash like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you need any more additional help on this certain topic we discovered, or you maybe need another topic that needs to be discovered in order for you to actually scale. You can comment that down below. If you smash subscribe and like, you're also going to help me with actual algorithm, which is going to help to get this message out to more actual business owners.